Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
What's happening, everybody? We're back again. The best place to be in town on a Wednesday night. That's the last time you ever hear that intro. That was for nostalgia. That's for all you massive that have been reaching out to us saying, guys, please come back. Guys, we miss you. Please start again. So we're back. By popular request, here we are. Myself, Iggy, JP, Mari, and Maz. Spurs Corner. Smash like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. Big up to each and every one of you that have joined us tonight. Every Wednesday, we will be here and we will be discussing all things Tottenham the way that we do best. So thank you for being here, guys.
Also, make sure you tell all your friends that we've restarted back up and to subscribe to Tottenham Spurs Corner.
Oh, he's the first one to do it. Yeah. That's £1 in the jar.
I stopped though. Stop short.
He nearly slipped up. He's like, he got halfway, and then he's like, "Oh, better not do
that." Bit like my love life.
Are we starting? Is that the first topic of the night? Maz's love life. Should we just go with that one?
Right.
It's a love affair.
Listen, well, let's quickly say hello to some regulars in the chat that we haven't spoken to or seen in years, but they're here. Big up to Eugene, always Spurswasian in the chat. Swifty, OG supporter of the channel. Big up to you.
Big up.
We've got Lee in the house. Daryl Denton, another OG. Matty, how you doing, my man? Another regular. We've got Hendris Darwin, Spurs Corner, Angry Birds. I'm sure you were there from day one. Spurs Rule.
Yeah.
Tommy G, absolutely there from day one. We've got Art, THFC in the house. Ron, how can we forget Ron, man? This guy. We've got Roy in the building. Gabriel Mavropana. I think you were someone that was new to the channel, but welcome. Good to see you here. We've got Capone in the house. Johnny Fitzpatrick.
Johnny.
What a blast from the past. Language Angels. Big up to you.
Big up, Paolo.
Big up.
In fact, you've just reminded me, Language Angels used to be a channel member. We will set up channel memberships again once we've got the channel up and running. So respect to you, Language Angels. Tom's in the house. We've got Trev. Scott Amos, another one from back in the day. One Spurs King, another one. Top G in the house. Lewin. Lisa Davies. She always watched our show, so great to see you back here, Lisa. Richest man, always a channel regular. Bing Guy, another one. He or she has been going around all the YouTube channels saying, guys, please come back, guys. You know, I've seen all your comments everywhere, so thank you very much for that. We do appreciate it. Let's see who else we've got. Mike Zappa, original Levy out protester.
Yeah.
Who's this? Sophie Prince? Who's that?
He's an OG.
You know, it's great to see new names mixed with old ones as well. So I recognise quite a lot of them in there. Obviously, there's still a lot that do not know that we've set up in this stream, and we set up this channel. So put it out there, like, you know, far and wide. Let everyone know where we are now, guys. Secondly, as soon as we announced that we was coming back, I've had untold messages on my ex account, even my own personal YouTube account of how everyone's looking forward. So to those who have reached out, thank you very much, man. It's great being back. I'm sure everyone feels the same. Swifty, you mentioned earlier on. Swifty was, one of the originals, man. As soon as he knew it was coming back, he started retweeting and let everyone know to put it out there. So big up to Mark, who often messages. So I always wanted to know what's going on with us and stuff like that. So we have really loyal followers, man. That I find it too.
Sorry, Iggy, just let you know, there's a few more we've got to say thank you to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And you
All
will
right.
get there. You will get there. I'm just saying, I find it a little bit too belittling calling them just followers. It feels like an extended family.
It's
I really
family,
do
man.
feel that, and it's not just words of circumstance.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
truly
That's
do.
true.
I truly do
Yeah.
believe that we have an extended family out there. That even though we don't know each other personally, I've never met some. We've met personally, others we haven't at the stadium or doing football and stuff like that. It just feels like a large extended family. So it's great.
Even when I was at the ground, like
Yeah.
last
Same.
couple of games, like people have come up and gone, "How come you're not doing it anymore? Where are you? Need you back?" and
Well,
stuff like
do you
that.
know
So
what?
big up to everyone.
Do you know what, Stel, before you go in and say like everyone else, let's just get into that straight away because many of us, what did happen to Tottenham away? What's happened to this channel? Listen. We could go on and making it a whole stream of it, but what I will say is this: when the original channel first closed, and this is be brutally honest, guys, when the channel was originally
The
closed,
first time we got shut down. The first
time we got shut
We're
down.
on season 3 now,
which,
right?
Which was
we're on
which was,
season 4.
that story has been told umpteen time. The person that helped us bring it back with another channel, we used his channel. He used his channel to that person is clearly not on a stream with us tonight, but you know who he is because if he's not here, there was 5 of us. So when we did this, so that person is used his channel, did absolutely everything he could to get us back on ground again, and obviously that channel grew, and it's still on YouTube, by the way. But the problem it has that he's the only one that has access to it, so we have no access to that channel, and even though
we had access, but not the complete control.
Yeah, not
Like,
complete
control of the
and
channel.
obviously where he had to take time out because he had his own things going on for a year and a half. We needed access to that, and then that's not become possible anymore. We don't have any access there. Only he has sole control of it now, and we cannot get in. So what choices do we have? I personally, and I have no problems saying this, I'll speak for me and me only. I was really down about it. I was really upset about the whole thing, and I didn't want to stream anymore. I told the boys I was happy talking to them about football. I was happy
Iggy's
talking to
fault,
them.
Guys. Blame Iggy.
Blame Iggy.
I was happy. I was happy to, but I didn't want to do it because I was so really upset about the whole thing. So it's taken me a while to get to the point I am today, but now I'm absolutely ecstatic to be doing this with the boys again. Seeing you guys in the comments, seeing you guys back and following us again, and I know that this channel will grow. And the beautiful thing about this channel is now that we all have access to it, and we all have a bond that it will move us forward, whatever happens. For me, it's never been about numbers. It's always been about being here, talking Tottenham, and doing the things that you guys love us to do: talk raw, talk passionate, and talk freely about Tottenham Hotspur.
And when we get back to 20,000 subs, we will find a way to lose that channel. We will find a way.
Get set piece specialists, but our speciality is getting channels closed.
We will get this channel shut down at some point. We will find a way.
No. The thing is, guys, we're always on the fringes, aren't we? We're always on the fringes of when we talk and how we are passionate about it. So it doesn't matter. It's like whatever, man. We'll just keep coming back. We'll just keep. Let
me quickly say hello to everyone else in the chat, and everyone can have the same.
Murray, let me just a bit, guys. But sorry, so I know you wanted to say hello to a lot more.
Murray, let me do the hellos, and I'll come straight to you. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. Big up to Pres the Glad. The OGs are back. James Cook, another OG. Big up to you, Ryan. Yes, my man. How you doing? 25, Brian. We've got Jagged what 227. These are new names. Igor, I know you're old school. We've got Anther 3 upload. I think that's a new account. We've also got Terry O'Shea, OG of the OGs. RBS 95, Aussie here in the house. Ant CYP, big up. How you doing? OB24. So there's a lot of new names here. Critch, I know you were watching us from previous, so thank you very much. We've got Bopper, another one that used to watch us. Wayne Holland. He's a friend of ours on air and off there. Ghost LDN, another OG. FC Balil. Jordan. Jordan's been going around saying to everyone, Tottenham Way, please come back. We've got Andreas Holloway, big up to you. Oh, This is the guy that came up to me and bigged all of us up in my cousin's sandwich shop in Southgate. Big up to Andres. You know, he started his own, I think, TikTok channel off the back of us because he was so like inspired by what we do. So big up to Andres. He's a good guy, man.
Nice, man.
Verse, big up to you. OG as well. Mac, John George goes around all the channels. Another one. Big up to you. Spursy. Levy has gone, which will be our first topic of the night. We've got Matt THFC, big up. Top 621. Oh, sorry, 2617. I'm just seeing if there's anyone else I've missed out. I think that's it. Guys, if I've missed you, I'm sorry. I've tried to go for as many of you as I can. But listen, great to see you all. Smash like, subscribe.
By the way, does everyone like the new name, Spurs Corner? Does everyone like the name Spurs Corner?
It's too late now, Iggy. It's tough.
Iggy, there's no choice.
We're not going to change the name. We're not going to change the name. I just want to know if everyone likes it. It might not like it. It's not meant to be when they change it.
Big up Ashraf as well, by the way. Big up Ashraf. Yes, Mari, go. It's all you.
Quickly, just add on to Iggy, what he was saying, in that I'm just so happy to be back with you guys. It was definitely discouraging, but I want to give a toast to you, to the people in the chat, our followers, our subscribers. A toast to you guys, because it's you guys who send messages that said, hey, we've missed you guys. You guys are a different voice. Even the ones who were hating, they were like, it's weird not having Tottenham away, because we're the opposite voice, you know, not always the opposite, but everybody knows, you know, we try to be the voice for the people. And so I'm just happy to be back. And I just want to thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And a toast to the people in the chat. Thank you guys. And we know more are going to come back. And I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this.
And check this out, Mario. Mario, we got a wicked jingle as well for Spurs Corner. We're just going to put the video together somehow. I don't know who's going to maybe do it.
Yeah, next week we've got a new jingle coming.
The video and the jingle's great. As soon as we get the video to go with it, I've heard it and I love it. We just don't have time to get it all together for this stream here, but we'll try and get it ready for the next one.
Listen, let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it because we want to get the show up and running, right? Let's just get straight into it.
Well, it's not as if everyone's running away to watch England or any international football anytime soon. So we've got plenty of time then this week.
Do you know what? I don't even watch international football anymore.
I've gone off.
Forgot his international football. It's like another 2 weeks for a Spurs game.
So
Tottenham away.
Tottenham away first launched in 2020 in January. And one of the reasons we launched it was because we had an issue with Enoch and Levy, and nobody else in the space wanted to talk about it. So we started talking about it. And then obviously over the years, it's manifested into what it is. I think we were the OGs of protesting as well and promoting the protests and getting involved with it. So for us to see Daniel Levy step down, it's unbelievable we didn't have a channel to document that. Everything we did was built up to that moment. And we lost the channel.
That's it. So once Levy went, Tottenham away is driving force behind.
So Spursy. But
that was it, wasn't it? That was the peak.
I mean, look, let's listen. We have to talk about it because this is what Tottenham away was all about. Levy steps down. The breaking news that came out at the end of the transfer window. Levy is gone, guys. Levy is gone. But is he? Is he? Listen, let's talk about it. JP, we were protesting for years, man. Like, the chairman's gone. He's no longer here. We can't blame Levy anymore. Or is he still in the background? Because he still owns 30% of the club. Where are you at with it? How do you feel about it? Where are you at with it? What do you make of it?
Well, excuse me. It was a bit like, I think all of us, it was like a shock. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. I don't think anyone expected it to happen that way. Or I don't think anyone, even us who've been staunch Levy out and been going to all the protests and things like that, thought that it was going to happen anytime soon. So once that news broke, I think I phoned you or phoned Iggy or something straight away, literally like as it cropped up on my phone, and it was just, I don't believe it. You know, I actually don't believe that something like that's actually happened. It's a good thing. Obviously, it's something that we've been craving for ages. We just now need to see what the next steps are. But if he was a bottleneck, and maybe we'll find out if he was a dam, if he was someone who was blocking everything, we'll find out in time. But as it stands now, do you know what? He's gone. That's what we wanted. Crack on. The fact that he's got a 30% share still in Tottenham Hotspur, that's quite a majority. But it sounds like so far that he doesn't, even though he's a shareholder, he's obviously some sort of a quiet shareholder and he doesn't have much of a say in it. Whether that's true or not, we obviously won't know. But the fact that they've publicly come out and said something to say that we've now got a non-executive chairman or something like that who's going to be helping making the actual decisions. They've kind of publicly come out, you know, Vinay's come out and made videos and stuff like that. So it would seem as if what the club are telling us publicly is that he doesn't have a say in it anymore. If that's the truth, amen, hallelujah, Merry Christmas. Let's crack on now.
Let me come to Maz because he's the only one that hasn't spoken yet tonight. So, Maz, good to see you wearing red on the first show back. Well done.
It's salmon pink.
Oh, that's what they say about
That's
my
like
shirt.
his
They call it
chair.
red. This is orange. I get
Salmon pink.
This is red. Yours is even more red. This is red.
Well,
Let's go to Maz the Gooner. What do you think?
What do I think of it? Well, I think that he got turfed out like he should have been turfed out many years ago. You can't. The spotlight shone on Levy when he sacked Poch because we're at the precipice of something great at the time, and the stadium came. And ever since Poch left, it's been one fiasco after another. Albeit, you know, we had I say limited success in the sense of, you know, we qualified for Champions League under Conte. His performance under Ange as a chairman was diabolical. I mean, Ange as a manager of the club almost brought the club into disrepute with the amount of fiascos. You know, the 400 million spent down the drain, leaving us a squad that finished 17th. The way he got removed from the club is the way I would expect a CEO to get removed from the club after having such a poor 5-6 years post us reaching the final. Yes, he still has shares at the club, 30% or 27% or whatever his share is, but he's not on the board, and I don't think the club, i.e. the Lewises, would dispense the way they've dispensed of him in such quick fashion out of the blue, and give the comms that they've given ever since then. If he was still involved in the background, they wouldn't need to do all of this stuff, right? They wouldn't need the press from it. So my opinion is that he is definitely in the background now. It was definitely his time to go. I mean, he should have gone a long time ago. Ultimately, we're still under ENIC's stewardship, right? They own the club. We'll have to wait and see how they behave. But I was always of the opinion, and I argued this consistently, is that you change the person steering the ship, the culture and philosophy will change. Won't change overnight, but it will change. I've seen that happen in corporate life, and you see it happening in football as well. There's a reason why people change managers, CEOs step down, directors step down, because that's how you inflict change. It's not always the sell of a club that can change things. Actually, let's give. And I'll finish on this. If you look at Arsenal, the Kroenke brought in his son to change the direction of the club, and then they started spending big, and they started making moves, and they've slowly climbed up the table, right? And they're consistently challenging. That's not changing ownership of the club.
And he got rid of Vinay. He got rid of
exactly.
Vinay.
Yeah. Right. Well,
We
exactly. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
But Murray, let me come to you. You were always doing videos talking about Tavistock, the property company that Joe Lewis owns in America, and you were telling us the shenanigans going on over there. And Levy's gone now. This is Joe Lewis's ship. He's a lot of people in the chat are saying Levy was just a puppet master for the bigger puppet master. And was Levy a puppet, or was he just as complicit as what Joe Lewis and co are?
It's almost a yes and no, because my views on Levy being a narcissist, and maybe yeah, and maybe it got in the way. Lewis, his kids apparently, and his kids are older. They're not like 20 or 30. His kids, Joe Lewis's kids are like 40, 50, in their 40s, 50s. If I'm correct.
They're in this, I think Vivian's 60, I think.
Yeah. So apparently, if you believe the rumors, they don't like Levy, and we don't know if they have egos or whatsoever. I'm in a position now because of all these promises, right? Promises that you can keep or you can't keep. So right now, I'm sitting back and watching. I'm watching to see if they put their money where their mouth is. We're hearing about January is going to be amazing. The summer is going to be great. Vinay, he's coming in to change some things. So right now, I'm just sitting back and I'm going to watch and see. Now, fool me once, fool me twice. Joe Lewis has done absolutely fuck all for this club. Now, so now the kids want to do something. Well then, all right, put your money where your mouth is. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch. I know we're going to talk about Frank this year. I'm just sitting back. I'm watching. I don't have huge expectations. I'm going to see how we go. But if anything that is ambitious about this club, just know this. It's probably because the plan is to sell this club, and you get probably more money when the club is actually winning major trophies. So, like I said, money where your mouth is. I'm just going to sit back and watch Enoch out. Let's see what they do. That's my stance on it.
Iggy, do you know what? Everyone's kind of wait and see, Shosh, what you got is kind of the message. I want to ask you something. When Vinay came in, right, and I want to get your take on this. When Vinay came in, he did that really cheesy, cringe video with Levy. I know how much it means to you. I know what it meant to see you win the trophy. And then literally 2 weeks later, the guy's gone. So that whole thing was just an absolute farce. All the people I speak to who are really behind this new board of Charrington, Vinay, this new era of Tottenham, they keep saying to me, Vinay's really good and Vinay's the man. When I speak to Arsenal friends of mine, they say to me, half of them say, nah, man, we had to get rid of Vinay. The other half said he was really good with the fans. Vinay talks a lot about things that we want to hear. For example, I want to be more engaging with the fans. I want to speak to the trust. I want to speak to fan groups. I want to understand where they're at. And we're hearing that the sponsor is going to change. We're going to have a new sponsor. So in a year's time, the red should be coming off the kit. And our friend Roy, he's part of some supporters group, and he got to see and speak with Vinay. And Vinay was talking about how there's going to be statues that are going to be put outside the stadium of our best managers and players. And They're 1 or 2 years away from getting permission from the council to do it. So, as from a fan perspective, when the club's saying to you, yeah, the red's going to go, statues are coming, we want to engage with you. These are all the kind of things that finesse the fan base, and the fans like, yeah, we've got our Tottenham back. But one thing he doesn't talk about is the recruitment changing, better quality players coming to this club. Because at the end of the day, how long are we going to tolerate this squad being the way it is just because there's no more red on the kit, or just because we've got a statue of Bill Nick, or just because the club's talking to us a bit more? At the end of the day, do you think the only thing that's really going to make fans get on board with this new way of operating with this new board or new people in charge is if the transfer window starts being good consistently? What do you make of that? Because Vinay talks a big game, but he doesn't seem to talk about quality signings too much. In fact, I don't think he's ever spoken about it.
But look, to me personally, well, with regard to Levy, he's out, but he ain't out. So in that respect, we'll see how that goes on moving forward. In terms of Vino, man, at the end of the day, talk is cheap, man, and we've had a lot of talk. We've had a lot of people to come talk, sell us the dream, say they were going to do this, say that, and then ultimately, what counts is the facts. What counts is the action, and we will see what Vinia will bring to this club, and in terms of not just what he says, but in terms of what he does. And that's all I can say as a fan and to the fans is judge people or judge these guys at the club for what they do rather than what they say. Because at the moment it's all fine. He's new at the job. He's only just come on board.
Iggy, what have they got to do? Iggy, what have they got to do for you as a fan? Because they're talking about statues, changing the kit sponsor, talking to the fans more. Is that enough?
That's absolutely fine. Look, if they change, if the kit sponsor, if they change and put anything but red on the shirt, the percentage of the sales of the shirts will go up tenfold automatically just by doing that one move and putting any color but red. I think the sales of the shirt will multiply. So that already will make good business sense, as well as the fact that we all love non-red in our shirts, all right? So, but in terms of what the club needs to show, for me, the club needs to grow every year. I'm talking about on the pitch because the growth of the actual club in terms of money is clear to everyone to see. But in terms of on the pitch, it's to always strive the ambition. Yes, we should be striving to make top four, but it's not just about making top four for Champions League. It's also to say once you get to the Champions League, right, then it's like how now that we're in the Champions League, what is the purpose of our being in the Champions League? Like we want to move on, mounting a challenge to a challenge. This is what I'm saying. Like, you know, there's only one guaranteed winner at the end of the season for every trophy, but you want to see a growth on the pitch. You want to see the squad becoming better. You want to have a manager that comes in knowing that they can take this club to the next step forward, rather than just having to deal with the same old and then having to deal with the same problems that the previous manager had, and ultimately having the same outcome as the previous
Iggy,
manager
so this
had.
is my point, Iggy. So as a fan, if you see a statue of Bill Nick when you go to the stadium, yeah, this is Tottenham again, and there's no red on the kit, you're like, yeah, we got our Tottenham back. Is that enough? At the end of the day, how long?
Yeah, but hold on.
These little treats
in the right direction, though, isn't it?
Hold on. Still, we can't chastise the new leadership, right, when they're doing things that we've wanted them to do for the last 20 odd years.
But what's the priority, though, Maz, is my point. Do we want the squad to be good? When
Vinay is speaking of these things, he's not talking about the overall priorities of the club. He's talking about periphery stuff, right? So you can't be. I think we're being a little bit unfair. The way you're framing the question is a bit unfair, right?
There's steps in the right direction.
Look, if Xavi, as an example,
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, how long did these things last with the fan base? Though?
Well, you are, because you're insinuating that by him talking about all this other stuff, the priorities and the football, and it's not about winning. We don't know that yet, do we? Yeah, but we don't really know that yet.
I think you misunderstood my question. My question is, all the sound bites coming out of Vinay are feel-good factor things. No more red on the kit. Statues. We're talking to the fans. Listen, great. I'm not against
Yeah,
it.
but that's absolutely fine. But it doesn't mean it's going to
Yeah.
be the be all end all. That's not
But
going to be it. It's not.
yeah,
Oh, he's
Iggy.
done that. We have no more red on our shirt. We've got to
But that's
say to
my
ourselves, we're
question.
cool with that.
But
That's
that's
not.
my
It's not
question.
going to be just that.
Yeah, but Iggy,
It's a very welcome thing, by
Right.
the way. It's a welcome thing, but it's not going to
Guys,
be the what.
You're missing my point, though. You're missing my point. How long do these little treats, things that we want, how long does it last if they aren't talking and fixing the squad by signing quality players consistently? Like, if we go to Monaco away and we get battered for 90 minutes, but there's no red on the kit, are we all right with that? That's what I'm saying.
No,
I think
of course it is.
I think you'll see in the next 3 transfer windows, right? You'll be able to gauge the intent that they have as a club in investment into the type of players that are going to take us to that place, and it'll be evident after 3 2. Even I'm looking forward to this first window. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say looking forward to, but I want to see where that ambition is in that first window, because that could be the most important window that them as a new regime have. Because after that window, you'll get people, hey, he's changed the red. Good man.
What a fraud. You fraud.
Good man. Oh, sorry, he's changed the salmon pink.
Do you see how doing the little things placated the fans?
that was the Vinay. That was the Vinay special.
I just done the
Vinay.
Nice one, man.
No, but
and it's the same T-shirt as well. I've just got different colours of it.
Vinay's watching the show and he's like, yeah.
Well played. Well played.
I've just done the removing of the AIA off the shirt.
That one there, Matt is like, subscribe. Subscribe. That's what I needed to see. No, but you know,
is that blue? Chelsea fan?
No, but
Maz,
listen,
Maz,
man, at the
that's
end
a
of the
good
day,
change in
we
the
have
right
to.
direction.
We
Sorry,
don't know.
yes.
It's too early to say, man. We have to wait to play. It has to play out. Like anything, it has to play out before you can then criticize it or compliment it. The transfer window, you're right, JP. It'll be an indication. I don't think this transfer window coming up, the winter one, is going to be a massive, overhaul, blah blah blah.
No, but even
But
if
I
they
think
get
if we can get like a couple
quality-
of really good players in, and we know the areas that ultimately need injecting in, yeah, the forward line, we need goals. So it's inevitable that we need goals. We've got a player now that's going to be out with a broken jaw for how long? 6 to 8 weeks. And his career at Spurs hasn't even started. He's been more injured than on it. So we clearly need goals, and we need something on that left hand side. So that's 2 players there straight away. If we can get quality players to hit those 2 spots at least straight away, that would massively benefit the team, and that's a real sign of intent, clear intent, showing us as fans. Okay, right, we're not messing about. It's a clear intent, and it's difficult to do these businesses in a winter transfer, but it's not impossible either. If they have a recruitment where they can go and identify those players, and come January the 2nd, not January the 30th, January the 2nd, saying bang, here's the striker. We've had the dealing with him already for a month. He just had to put pen to paper. He's already at Thomas Frank's disposal, ready to use.
Intent.
Same with a winger, and that's when you see, what, there is work going on in the background. There is things moving. We're acting quickly. We're giving Thomas Frank the best opportunity to do well in his first season at a club, for him, for us, for everyone. And I think those are the steps. Those are real steps, the footballing steps to take. For everything else, that are smaller steps like the statues and stuff like that. Everything, every little piece, like just chipping away at the good stuff, and that's what you need to do. But still, as you're right, at the end of the day, all of that's great, but the main thing has to be the focus. Or then all the other stuff on the side and the periphery can grow the same. So we have to play. Like I said, we have to let it play out, and then we will know in the months to come where exactly where we're at in terms of how we want to move forward.
And we're gonna see. We're gonna see it soon. When January comes around, we're gonna see if Frank starts barking. You've seen the forward line. this first 4 months. Get me help on the left. You know, bring
Mario,
some people in.
we need an injection in that area because
Yeah.
you can see Kudus is getting overplayed slowly. You can see that.
Yeah.
His condition is starting to front. Maybe the help of Kulusevski coming back in at that time and 1 or 2 injured more players that can. Dragusin, I think, is going to be a great. And I said it in a video earlier. Dragusin, having him available with Dancer, we could have the opportunity to play really 3 good centre backs, play with the 3 at the back, and push the wing backs up higher. That could give us another dimension if we use it. Because I think right now our defence, incredibly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but our defence is probably the strongest point of our side. Why not utilise that to the maximum? So we know already right now we're not going to score a lot of goals. So we need to be really extra tight at the back, making sure that we're not conceding cheap goals in the way that we did in the last minute against Man United. So those are the kind of things I want to see taking place until that transfer market opens and we can go and get maybe someone who's available, experienced and someone who, again, it's a lot of work. It's got to be work done in the background to go and identify the player that can come in straight away in our team and really hit the ground running. So
Iggy, because you mentioned about the defense and you think it's our strong point. Let's move on to talking about the season so far.
Yeah.
So currently, as it stands, if we just look at results in the league table, Tottenham Hotspur are currently 5th after 11 games. What I will say though, we are 3 points off of 2nd and 3 points off of 13th. So from
it's been that kind of league this year, yeah.
From about 4th place to 13th is a complete shit show of a league. You can lose 1 or 2 games in a row and you're in the bottom half of the table. But we are 5th. We are 5th. And it's because our goal difference is very good compared to the others. In the Champions League, it's a similar story.
Considering we've been saying like the forward line, like the defense is the back bit. Yeah, we've seem to have a number of goals on there, right?
We've got the 4th best joint defense, and we've got in terms of goals, we've got the 1, 2, 3 joint 4th best. Yeah, so we're 4th best attack, 4th best defense. In the Champions League, we're 10th, so that's out of the automatic qualifications in the playoffs. However, again, we are 3 points off 2nd, and we are also 3 points off of being with Paphos. The mighty Paphos from Cyprus. So, again, it's a shit show there too. So, what do you make of it? Are we having a good season? Is it impossible to tell because the league is so skewed? Where are you at with it? And let's bear in mind, we've got a lot of injuries, and we also have only had the manager in place for 3 months. So, where are you guys at with the season so far?
I don't mind going really quickly. What I'll say is, compared to last season, it's amazing. We've got a new manager who doesn't know them. He hasn't really had the opportunity to get any players in. And the fact that we're 5th in the league compared to what we had to go through last season and where we ended up in the league. Last season, everyone was basically saying, league form's got to be better. League form's got to be better. We won a cup. Not worried about the league form. We've actually got a trophy. So this season, so far, in those 10 games, whatever it is, the home games, we've been absolutely dog's dinner. However,
we're bottom of the league for home performance in 2025. And this season, just so you guys know...
Who cares about that in 2025?
But this season...
The league doesn't matter in 2025.
Sure, but this season then, you're right, because that was part of Ange as well. This season under Frank, our home form is worse than Burnley.
We're 5th in the league.
I know, but because you mentioned home form.
Yeah, but to counter that, our away form is better than...
Our away form, I believe, we're number 1. We're number 1 in the league. We're top.
Despite our really bad home form, we're 5th in the league.
Yeah.
And this we've not really had. He's not like as you just said. We've had a hell of a lot of the managers just literally been there. We've had a hell of a lot of injuries. We know what our front three is. The opportunity for them to put chances away are really low. And I saw someone made a comment earlier. 0.05 xg in a game is absolutely diabolical.
It's a record,
Disgusting.
apparently.
Right?
I think we broke the
Yeah.
record.
Yeah, we're fifth in the league. So
KP was fifth.
if the whole-
Look
if-
how many
if-
teams. Look how many teams
No.
are on the same points, though.
I know, but we could
That's
be
what I'm saying. Is it a
17th.
bit- So is it a bit misleading or not?
I would be
That's
worried
fine.
if
Well,
we were.
it's too
I would
early.
be more
It's too
concerned if we
early.
were 17th.
It's too early,
Yeah,
though,
of
isn't
course.
it?
If we were
to
17th,
judge.
there'll be Frank out every week. There'll be Frank
Yeah,
out.
it's too early to
17th,
judge
yeah.
so far how good the season is. We obviously need to wait until Christmas time. Or
Yeah, but we
you
need
know,
a talking point, Maz. We've got to talk about
No,
something.
of course. But what I am seeing so far this season is that everyone's already set their stall out. They're either Frank in or Frank out. You know,
It's too early, isn't it?
It's way too early of that.
Why do you think some fans are Frank out, Maz? Why do you think that is?
Look,
I don't know. Tell us still.
I want.
Style of football.
I'm not Frank out.
Not a football.
No, style of football is one
That's
part
right.
of it because the reason why the reason why a lot of the fans are impatient is because they have been expecting ever since the Poch team that we should be taking enough steps forward in the way we are as a club, in the team, etc., to not have this inconsistency from manager to manager and playing really diabolical football. That, you know, the fans have every right to be upset when you spent 400 million quid and your front three's got Johnson, Tell, Odeber, you know, and thank God we've got Kudus in there. But you know, it's a shocking forward lineup. They've got every right to be pissed off at seeing what our midfield is doing. They've got every
No one
right
complains
to be
about them
pissed off.
away from home, though, Maz.
I don't
Why is it we're
separate.
good away from home, but we're just absolutely dog shit at home?
So, and that's down to the manager. And look, I'm not part of the Frank out brigade, let's call it. But what I refuse to do is allow fans, right, whether they're YouTubers or the guys in the chat or whatever, to start just because you're being critical of Frank means you're Frank out. No, we're being critical of Frank because we want to see improvement in areas where we can see we're poor. You know, why can't we do that? Why do we have to be so tribal and either you in one camp or the other? Why can't we just judge Frank as he goes along? Well, you know, they're doing that. The fans that are complaining that we're not Frank in are the same fans that were complaining that some fans were for Ange out last season. It's ridiculous.
Look,
That's probably why, though, Maz. That's probably why.
My standpoint on this is with Frank so far, or the team so far, is I'll tell you the things first of all that I've liked. I've liked the fact that we've got a little bit more balance in the team, in the terms of how, you know, one side of the game isn't completely neglected to commit.
We're more stable, aren't we? We're more stable.
Yeah, we're a bit more stable, and I enjoy attacking football. Of course, I do, like every fan does. But I didn't like the fact that it was in the defensive side of it was so neglected. And we had, like, I always say, like, I thought we had a decent defense, like even last year. Yeah, we lost Romero and Delict. Delict. You got that guy in my head. I'm still mad about that goal. Right, but I got Van de Ven. You know, Van de Ven, we lost him for large parts of the season. So I know that absolutely compromised a lot of the defensive side. But even when they were in, they were being exposed, man, because we were defending literally with two at the back. But here, this time around, we have been a bit more attentive from a defensive point of view, and I enjoy to see that because I really think, like, you need to have a really good defensive shape. I'm not saying you have to be ultra defensive, defend outside your box, but you need to have an ultra defensive shape. We've got that. We've got the balance. I still think under this manager, we've got the midfield is not quite working for me. I don't know. There's something not quite clicking. I've loved Palinha. I've massively loved Palinha, but I don't think we're utilising Bentancur in the way that we've known that he has more to his game than what the way than more than what Frank is using him. I don't know if I'm making a sense of that. Sarr seems to have lost his way a little bit, and I don't know if he truly feels the
Iggy, do
trust
you
of the manager.
think,
So
Frank?
I feel like something missing there, and up front we know where we come short. Without
Iggy, can I ask
Kudos,
you a question on that? Because you're kind of digging out the midfield here. No one
I'm not
digs out the
digging him out. I'm
midfield
just
away,
saying there's something not quite clicking in
but
there.
no one said that away from home, right? Everyone says that was a good. Do you think we have got a situation where away from home we're set up more pragmatically, not to lose, and to try and
No, I don't think that.
get some goals from set pieces or counter attack? But at home, we're using the same method rather than using advantage of home form and the fans and being a bit more adventurous. Therefore, the midfield looks a bit not
I
quite
think
as
away
functional
from
at
home, with teams coming at us, it actually sends a lot of our forward players who love the spaces in behind. If you take
Yeah,
the
but
space,
Bournemouth came at us at home and they peppered us.
What was that you said?
but
Iggy?
that was one game. But I'm
Iggy.
talking about away from
Well,
home.
Chelsea came at us, they peppered us.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
Iggy,
You're
what
talking
was that
about,
you said?
Sorry,
Our players love the space in behind. Who?
I'm
Tell
talking about away from
Odibert and
I'm
who?
talking- yeah, but
the
away
one
from
player
home.
we've got that's decent going forward.
Yeah, but our players, I'm talking about movement, not brilliant on the ball. Kudos is brilliant in transition with the ball at his feet. Other players are good at exploiting the spaces in behind. So when they get played in, like Johnson, one touch finish, he normally scores with those one touch finishes. His transition with the ball is not the greatest. His taking players on is not the greatest. But you put him
It's
one-on-one with a
non-existent.
goalkeeper.
You can't take on
You
players.
put him one-on-one with a goalkeeper, though, it's a different story. What I'm trying to say is the way the teams play at home with us being away is completely the opposite of when we're at home. Our problem at home, I believe, is that teams now watch the previous games and they know how to set up against us and they know how to work us. And we don't play vertically enough, in my opinion. I think we do too much sideways football, allow teams to get back. Man United, do you know what they did against us on the weekend? Every time they kept losing the ball, they kept putting men behind halfway line. Just wait for us. We knew we couldn't break them down. So, and they knew that every time they attacked, they looked like they would hurt us because they have better players than us in that forward line. There was so much more options in hurting us. I felt that I felt every time they attacked, we look like we're going to concede here, or we look like they're going to cause a dangerous play. The little 1-2s playing each other.
I thought Sesko and Cunha against us were average.
What I would say,
Yeah, but I'm talking about what about all other players around him?
That's
Buemo was good, but the rest of them, they weren't that good against us.
They're the things that I would judge Frank on.
First, second half, I thought they were good
because he should be working things like that out. If you're saying to me, and I happen to agree with you, that teams watch the last game and they come at us in exactly the same way, and that's where I will judge Frank on things like that, because he should know, or he's the person who should be having slightly different tactics and be adaptable for things like that.
But you know what the funny thing is? That Brentford at home were a really good side, man, under Frank. Nobody enjoyed going to Brentford.
He'd been there 5 years or whatever, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so do you know what I mean? Sometimes it is like, he had his Wissa, Buemo, and stuff like that. So he had them. He had them going. Well. Yeah, he had them going in a way that nobody looked forward to going playing Brentford at their home ground. So we have to get Tottenham playing in a way that away. It has to be a really difficult game for an away team to come. Right now, too many of these away teams coming to Spurs are enjoying their day at Spurs, other than getting the result, which is what they're doing. But they're also enjoying.
Is it because of the injury, Diggy? Though, is it because we've got so many key players out? Though, is it just what can a manager do? Any manager with no Kulu, no Maddison. We didn't replace Son. We've got Kudus was missing on the weekend. We've got Mwani's now injured. We've got the wing back sometimes.
We lack creativity.
We've got no cover at the back. We got Goosen's out. Ben Davies
I think we need the creativity at home. I really do think we lack a little bit of creativity. So players don't. I think the sole responsibility for our creativity is Kudos, and Xavi. Now, Xavi has been hit and miss. He's had good moments mixed with bad moments, and that's part of a player that's trying to settle in the Premier League. He's physically finding it really difficult. You can clearly see that he's finding it difficult. But there is something about him. There is a player in him. You can see it, and I just think where we're so dependent on that creativity that he's got to deliver, I think that's where the pressure is, and that's where he's hitting and missing. We lack that creativity to open teams up, getting a goal straight away, trying to put teams on the back foot in the first 15, 20 minutes. I don't think we've seen too many home games this year. Right, you guys may be able to tell me a little bit more because you go to a lot more live games. So I don't know, at that 15, 20 minutes, I don't see that Tottenham really like putting the foot down to try and get that goal earlier on. Because I really think if we can get that momentum going, I really do believe that
I think it's the tactics. I'm not so sure.
Do we need to play a double pivot at home?
Look,
that's another thing.
A lot of our players are just not good enough, and individually, we can rip them to pieces. But I do feel that Frank is unwilling to experiment or change things up when we're playing at home. He has
it because it's so desperate to win at home, Maz?
Possibly, it could be that. But when you look at our attacking plays, they're so one-dimensional. It's a bit like Ange, but the opposite of Ange. Like Ange used to play that same like rainbow horseshoe tactic.
Maz,
right?
why do you think that is? Because at Brentford, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like
exactly.
That.
And this is where I agree with Stel when he says Frank isn't being Frank, because why isn't he switching it up? Like I don't understand why he plays a rigid 4-2-3-1, right? Or it morphs into a 4-4-3 when we attack, because that 4-3-3 just doesn't work when we're attacking, because you're relying on rubbish left winger, rubbish centre forward, then Kudus has to try and do everything. And Xavi's not clicking, so then it just looks a mess. I don't get why we play that tactic. What I would, for me, and we've been saying this for a couple of years now, but if Porro and Udogie are proper wing backs, why can't he put them further up forward?
But that's my whole point I mentioned earlier, and like I said, I've mentioned it in a few videos that I've done in my channel, guys, and I've said it many a times. I think we've got the opportunity to go with three at the back. Because I've liked Dan, so whenever he's been involved, I think he's been really good. And I find it really harsh when I see Romero come back in and Van der Ven. Of course, they are two of our best defenders in our team.
Iggy, some fans say it's because there's no cover. If one of them gets injured,
but now Dragusin was you guys.
Yeah, but up until now that hasn't been the case, though, isn't it? Up until now we haven't.
Yeah, but do you know what? We haven't had a lot of the choices up front, and we're still having to play the same players all the time. The risk of injuries is always around the corner.
He's not one injured. Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
No.
But my take on it is very simple. Why not play now that Dragusin was seen playing friendly, behind closed doors at the Tottenham Hotspur ground? The Tottenham the training pitch. What was Hotspur Way? Bloody has come to me. It was seen playing a match at Hotspur Way. We can go with a three at the back and push the wing backs up higher. And maybe, just maybe, we can play with two forwards. Because I don't think we have a striker, a number 9, quality to play by himself. We don't have that. We need the
couple up there.
We need the pair up there just to occupy the two defenders, but also to share the responsibility that normally Harry Kane used to do by himself. But Harry Kane is one. You can't get another Harry Kane easily. Or we don't have a Lewandowski. We don't have an Osimhen. I know someone mentioned Osimhen earlier on, who's got a hat-trick. And those are the players that make the difference up front by themselves. If you don't have that, don't play that. Share the responsibility. Put two up front. Whoever it may be, whether it's Kudus, whether it's Johnson, play someone else alongside the forward that we have, whether it's Richarlison. Well, it's going to be Richarlison now. So to try and take the pressure off the main striker, but also to give you more options further ahead. Xavi having two players in front of him is completely different than having just a Richarlison in front of him. It's a totally different ball game. We have to be a little bit more daring at home. I really do believe it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think of this? In fact, go on, you go, Murray. What's your take on it so far? The season so far, Frank, the team.
I would say, like I said before we lost our channel, I had no expectations for this season. Last year was
Is that because we're European champions?
yeah.
So
We didn't
you-
even get to do a video on that. We didn't even
Yeah.
get to talk about winning the trophy.
That's true. That's true. Last season
Are we
was
still
more.
European? We are. We are.
Last season was more like.
There
This
we go.
season is more like
Just-
meh, and it's tough, because we're talking about our home form, and I agree with Iggy of being more brave, but the funny thing is we got pumped, and we made all the jokes, Pornhub FC, Lily Phillips FC, so much at home that now we're being so rigid at home, but we're still not getting results. And and for me, I'm giving it a season. I stick to it. I kind of agree with Stel when he's on the Spurs 5 that I'm looking at Frank, after a season, and then the second season, I'm coming in hard. Like, okay, all right, offense, defense. A January window has already come in. Summer window is coming in. I will look at that. I get the fans. I'm Frank in until second season, but I get those who are not liking this dull football. It's boring. I think the Premier League has been boring this season. I'm gonna be honest. The fluidity, the way the games have gone has really been ugly. The Chelsea game was bad. And I know last season we had some bad games, but at least we had some fight. Like we played Kazakami football, right? We got pumped, but at least we had a pulse going. That Chelsea game, you guys saw in our group chat, absolutely no fight against our rival at home. 0.05 xg. How can you even get that? That was diabolical. That was disgusting. There's no other. It was worse than any loss that we had under Ange last season. I'm Ange out. That loss was worse.
Oh, he's out. No
Yeah.
way, he's out.
That loss was worse than any Ange loss. But the good side of it, I like the fact that we have some structure. We don't get pumped. Our defense have been great. I was posting stats about Van de Ven, Romero, and Danzo. They've been solid sevens, average, right? SOFA score, like stats from EPL.
Yo, Romero's been taking some shit lately, I have to say.
Yeah. And we might talk about that. They've been solid,
Don't know why.
Top 5 solid, right? Not
love to hate.
number one
Just
spot.
love to hate.
Arsenal
On
solid,
on a side note, would you reckon Maz has got to change his shirt?
probably.
Let Murray finish. Go on.
Sorry, bro.
Let's
No,
bin
no,
Maz. Let's just bin
no
him.
problem.
We don't need him. No.
No, our defense have been solid, and that's the good news. But like I said earlier, wait and see in regards to improvements to the midfield, improvements to the forward line. Hopefully, when Dragusin comes back, I also agree with Iggy, the back three, especially big games, the Chelsea's, Arsenal. I would love to see a back three. I think that's the only way, for me personally, I can see it with our win backs trying to create something against that Arsenal team. For me, my personal opinion, I would like to see a 3-5-2, but
I think
I think that's the game he will do to contain it.
but
Can I have one quick challenge
just
as well?
just to finish, my view of the season has been meh, but meh is better than blah. No blah got us a trophy, but the season has been meh. It is what it is, it is, boring football. I get it. We get the results on the road. At home, I would like for us to be a bit more brave so we can have a pulse at home. I felt sorry for the fans that paid top dollar to see the home performances.
Me and JP.
Yeah, JP. So, so it's really a met. But like I said, I didn't have too many expectations come to this season. So,
I think this all comes down to one thing. What type of fan are you, and what level of hypocrisy are you prepared to spill? Right? And let me explain this. If you're just about results, you cannot complain. It's impossible to complain being fifth in the league and being in contention of getting into the top 8 for Champions League. You cannot complain with this bang average squad, with these injuries. You are out of your mind. However, if you're about good football, being entertained, you've got every right to complain. Every right, because the football under Frank has been shit. Absolutely shit. With the occasional sprinkle of, okay, yeah, like Man City away, Everton away. Other than that, even when we've won away from home or got draws, it's been, listen, Bournemouth at home. Chelsea was one of the most horrendous performances under any manager.
yeah.
Monaco away, Bodo away. Awful, right? Wolves at home. First half against United. Guys, this football's shit. So if you're about entertainment and football, you've got every right to complain.
Stel, do you remember?
Let me finish this because I'll lose my train of thought. But if you're about results, you should not complain one bit. The hypocrisy is this. This is the hypocrisy. So many fans, and I'll never forget this. They hounded Conte out of this club. Turgid football. This football's rubbish. They hounded him out. Of course he wanted to leave. Why would you stay? Yeah, he got us top 4. He left us in 4th place. Yeah, he had Son and Kane. Look at the midfield and defence he had. Fucking atrocious. Those same fans, oh yeah, but this football's acceptable. No, this is all right. So hold on a minute. Back then, you were all about good football. That's why Ange came in, remember, to entertain us. Levy even said, we want to play attacking football front foot. Levy gave the fans what they wanted. Now, we're playing Conte ball, and it's okay. That's the hypocrisy of so many fans in this fan base.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is this. Yeah. And this is where it sometimes I say to myself, I don't get it. We rested players against Newcastle to focus on the weekend, and we got kicked out of the cup because of it. Fine. To then go and put that performance against Chelsea is unforgivable. It's shit like that. It gets the fans wound up and saying, do you know what? I don't know about this manager. But for me, guys, just to wrap it up, and then I'll bring Maz back in. For me, guys, I will be Frank in until the end of the end of August, when the transfer window's over, to see whether or not he's got the balls to go into the room with Vinay, Paratici, Lange, Charrington and say, this squad's shit. Those 10 players, get rid of them. Those 8 players, you better keep them. Bring me some proper players to this club. And then we'll see what's what. Then I will judge Frank. Until then, he gets a year from me. I'll say it as it is, but it depends what kind of fan you are. Either you're for entertainment or your results. If you want both, we're a long way from that. So pick your corner, stay in your lane. But this hypocrisy that I'm seeing is the biggest. It just makes me just think, what's wrong with our fan base? When it suits us, shit football's unacceptable. When it suits us, shit football's okay. When it suits us, we want entertaining football. We don't want to. I don't get it. So that's kind of what I've noticed with our fan base. That's where I'm at with it. Man. Sorry.
I think that I used to hear this a lot. That why can't we have both? Why can't we have entertaining football that's winning football?
Need better
all
players
the time.
Need better players.
Yeah, and my thing with Frank is why can't we have decent football and winning football? Why do we have to have shit football and winning football, or shit football and losing at home? Look, I'm done with just blindly just giving backing to managers now. I've done that for all of the last 16, 17 managers aside from Nuno.
He deserves at least
and for me, Andrew was like the last straw. So look, I'm not Frank out, but I will judge him as I see him progress through the season. And if I think he's doing dumb things, then he deserves to get criticised. He hasn't done anything that deserves a sacking yet. As you said, we're fifth in the league. We're challenging to be top 4. We're challenging to be in the top 8 of the Champions League. From a results basis, you can't complain. But that doesn't mean that we haven't got the right to pick out the flaws in what he's doing and think, right, is he actually going to be the right manager long term for us? He might be a good manager for a couple of seasons, but is he going to be a long-term manager? Because that's what everyone's essentially looking for. They're looking for another Redknapp, another Poch, aren't they? To stay with us and build something for a longer period of time.
The sad thing is with us as fans is like every time something wrong happens, and even in a match, we're like saying, "I want that CUNT out of this club," and then he might score a goal, and it turns out I love him. Everything's like so up and down with Spurs. It's like even with a manager or anyone that comes in new, it's like I'm gonna give him a chance. It's almost as like I've got the gun loaded and locked. I haven't pulled the trigger, but I'm still pointing the guns at him. I'm like,
waiting.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like about putting those guns down and just let him be, man. Let him play. Like we're talking about with new players, anyone that's new, you got to give them a chance. Listen, can I say something with you guys? And I've been at the Tottenham Hotspur ground many, many a times. And honestly, and I don't mean to be overcritical about it, but do you know what? It's a tough ground, man. Even for a player wearing a Spurs shirt to perform in, because the crowd can be the best thing, but it could also be the worst thing, especially our home ground. Away is different. It's really different. I feel like the players.
Our fans were booing at the Man United game. They were booing.
This is what I'm saying. It's
at half time there were fans booing. It's ridiculous.
This is what I'm saying. I've always been of the opinion.
1-0,
I've always been of the opinion that if you can even critique, applaud, or boo, but do it at the end of the game, at the final whistle, when the game's done, then you have absolutely every right to show any emotion you want. Every right. You've paid a ticket. You have every right to do it. But do it at the end. Don't do it during it. Or I think during it, I think every fan should be supporting that team and their player. If they're not doing well, they're not going to do any better by you getting them on their back. It really doesn't work. At any level of football, it's not going to work the opposite way. And so for me, I just think we need to be a bit more patient. And certainly,
Iggy, can I ask you a question with that?
Be a force.
Iggy, can I ask you a question
for the manager?
Iggy, serious question. This is not me trying to trick you here. It's just a genuine question because I go to the games, JP goes to the games, and we experience what's going on there. When your team plays really bad, right? Let's use Chelsea as an example. It's very difficult to get behind the team when, don't you think? Give us something. Give me something to cling on to. Give me a little.
Are they playing bad because they're not trying, or they're just playing bad?
What I'm saying is it difficult, not just for Spurs fans, for any fan of any club? Is it difficult for fans to get behind the team when what you're watching is just complete and utter gap? And where's your little bit of hope to say, right, let's grab onto that and get behind that? Do you think?
Are you talking about specifically Chelsea? Because it seems to be the Chelsea one really.
That was the worst of the worst, wasn't it? That was just the worst of the worst. But we've seen it against Monaco away, Bodo away. At least against Bodo.
You see, but the Chelsea one still.
We got back to get a draw. It gives the fans something to G up about.
the Chelsea game, for me, it wasn't even so much that we played bad, which we did. It was more the approach of the game and the effort of the players for that game was non-existent, which added
Well, that's why we
to the
played
bad
bad, isn't it?
performance.
That's why we played
This
bad.
is
But
what I'm
That's
saying.
why the fans were booing, right?
Yeah, but that's fine to do it at the end of the game. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. It's like when you watch a
But when it's
performance, when
happening
you go,
during the game, Iggy, how do fans get excited and
Well,
play
no,
the team?
Because you have to,
okay,
you
okay,
you
by
have to
booing,
react to something. You can't sing.
what I'm trying to get
I'll
by
bring a perfect
booing the
example.
team and booing the players, by booing the team and booing the players during the game in the first half, at half time, yeah, just any time during the game. What do you honestly believe that's achieving?
Fans paid 96 quid to go there. Fans paid
Why-
110.
That's fine, but that's what I'm saying.
here's
That's
the
what I'm
thing.
saying. You can show your discontent at the end of the game, but during the game, what you hope to obtain by booing them and insulting them and whatever.
Because you want a refund.
But
It's
can,
if you want to
can,
say, I want a refund.
goes both- it goes
I want
both
my
ways.
money back.
can
I
I
don't
just
know if it
want
was
money
the
can I just counter that, Iggy?
I didn't know if
Iggy.
it was the overlap or was it was
I'm just trying to establish what you guys are hoping to
Yeah.
achieve by booing them during the
I
game.
just want to
I
counter.
don't know.
the
I will
players.
counter you. Hold on.
The players do. I saw an interview. I think it was the overlap. The players do feed. It goes both, right? It's hand in hand. It takes two to dance. The players do feed off the fans, right? In the sense of, especially because the game was still 1-0. It was still 1-0.
Yeah.
Like, so the players do feed off the fans, but on the other end, right, they weren't giving the fans anything to feed off. And so this is my only critique of Frank, because I complained about, and I'm gonna be fair. I'm going to be fair. I complained about Ange not revving up the players, and the fans. It was more like this. And with Frank, I see like stoic. I see him talking. He gets excited when they score, but I don't see that. All right, guys, come on.
I think
let's
he tries
go.
to remain.
Because we don't have the players that excite the fans and make the fans
that.
get behind the
Because-
team.
Just
When
Mass.
you
But it's
have
different
really
characters,
crap
it's different
players,
Mass, you saw why I
what
put
can you
Mass.
get behind?
But listen, but Mass, you saw what I
Hey,
put.
does Sunderland have the players, guys?
Mass,
Does
so what I
Sunderland have
put-
the players?
Mass,
But
Mass,
their fans expect those types of
But
players.
Mass, what I put in the group chat, remember what I said. Why I think the Chelsea loss was the worst of, honestly, as long as I've been a Spurs fan.
The XG was all.
Because I said, not only the XG, I said there were 11 dead corpses on that pitch. It was 11 zombies, and everybody was laughing. I said, in that game, I've seen games where we got humiliated, but at least at some points I saw a pulse. That Chelsea game, we were cold red, like dead from beginning to end. Not a pulse. I couldn't believe it. For a rival at home, 11 dead bodies, corpse. That was terrible.
When you have good players on the pitch,
Good or bad
right?
players, at least have a pulse.
Yeah, but
Yes, of course,
give it
right, and
time.
that's the minimum expectation, I think, of any fan base. I think any fan base would boo if the players weren't trying hard, right? But the main problem at Spurs is the fans are booing because they're fed up of watching dross, i.e., watching crap players, right? I don't remember, if I'm honest, I mean, it did happen a little bit under Poch, but most weeks we were thrilled because we were watching good football. And even when we lost, as long as we...
amazing. The atmosphere at the games with Poch was just different level.
The last 2 years, probably, yes.
Yeah, maybe because the fans are getting frustrated.
Not
But
at the start,
what I'm getting at is that Daniel Levy's this is his legacy, right? He's bad transfer policy since Poch left.
And you thought we weren't going to blame Levy? Who do you think we are?
He's going to blame him for the next decade,
It will
right?
come back to him
Right.
until we
You don't think we
Because-
are?
And following on, Ange building a squad with 400 million quid, and this is what he's left us with. This is what was left us with, right? That's why the fans are pissed off. But what I will say is that there is hypocrisy there, because the same fans that are booing now, I sincerely hope they were at the protests last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So,
The thing is,
So, I don't know. Is Iggy gone? Because what I want to say to Iggy is when he comes back, I want to speak to him about the booing and like.
Say it, JP, because you wanted to push back on what he said.
Yeah, because waiting to the end to boo. I get what you're saying, Iggy, but can they change anything at the end of the game?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think it's going to change
very
for the
good point,
better
Iggy,
during
that's
the
a great
game.
point.
But I
That's a great
want
point.
them to know
I don't think
right
it's going to change.
now.
I don't think
No,
it's going
no,
to
no,
change anything
It
during the game.
does.
I
The
want
fact
them
the
to know
players
right
could try
now
harder.
that I'm
Iggy.
unhappy with the way they're
You're
playing.
not.
And
You're
it's
not.
kid-
You're.
but
Listen,
that's
I hear
that's
you. I hear
them.
what you're saying. I
But
hear what
that's
you're saying.
them. But
I
that's
just
on
don't think it's
them.
going to
They
change.
need,
I don't think it's going to.
but they need to know that all the fans are unhappy with what they're seeing right now, so they
Then
need
boo
to
at half
up it.
time. Then
That's why we're booing.
what's the point booing at half time? Then boo at half time.
That's
Then
why you boo. Because fans are
just don't-
saying, I don't accept what I'm seeing. And that gives them an opportunity. It's saying to you, do better.
we had
At the end of the game,
against
if I boo them,
Chelsea. I think we had fans offering the players out when they were doing
that's
the level.
but that's stupid.
That's at South Stand.
You
That's
can't.
that's supposed to be the.
That's
So
a bit
what I'm
daft.
saying is
Is it because it was Chelsea? Though, like Chelsea and Arsenal, 2 games. I don't think fans will ever accept. Not
Chelsea,
turning
Arsenal, and
up.
West Ham.
I
would say,
think
3
more
games.
than a
Not
bad
turning up.
performance, in my opinion, it felt like it was like they couldn't understand why the players' approach to the game wasn't quite there. I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know.
Guys,
I think every time we play Chelsea,
Iggy,
it seems to be like that.
Do you think we've become more customer than what we have become fan? What I mean by that is fans just get behind the team. We've got to be with them even through the thick and the thin. Whereas customer, I've paid a fucking lot of money. I want a service for what I've paid for. Do you think we're more customer than what we are?
If you want to be entertained, the guaranteed entertainment, I suggest, and I'm not meaning this in the most patronizing way, if you want to guarantee entertainment for the money that you've paid, go to the cinema, go to the theatre, and you will definitely be entertained for the money that you're guaranteed to be entertained because there'll be a show there.
Do you
At a football match, it's not a show. It's not entertainment. It's a football match. It's a game of chess. Some games are highly entertainment, end to end. Other games, it's tactical. It's a game of chess. You don't know what you're going to get. Depending on you have to also base it on your opponent. Sometimes the opponent outplays you, outthinks you, out-tactics you, outsmarts you. The game management of the manager on the sidelines is a lot better than your manager, and vice versa. There's so many things. The changes, I felt like the changes on Saturday for the weekend against Man United, I thought our changes in the final quarter were better than their changes. And I think that swayed the tie in our favour, right up till they equalised, of course. But I'm saying that I thought the changes were better. So I think Frank got those changes right compared to Amorim. I think Amorim's changes didn't work for him. And he got away with one. I think he got away. In the end, I think he got away with that. But overall, given what we saw in the context of the match, I think the draw was right.
So
just to conclude, there's a lot of, especially in the big games like United and stuff like that, there's a lot of important factors that can sway the tie at any given moment. And I just don't know. I just see, do you know what? I know Liverpool have been bad this year. They're not been great. But, you have the cop end. You go to United. They got their end as well. You go to different, and then got that. I don't feel it. And I've sat at every corner, or I've sat at the north end, I've sat at the south stand, east and west. I just don't know which end is the strongest end. You know what I mean? I'm trying to establish that.
Iggy, can I say something? Iggy, all those games you've been to, have any of those games had a squad that excited you?
When you say squad, this season or just any season?
All these times you've been to this, like what you just described, you sat in this stand, that stand, whichever one of these games you went to under whatever manager, did you say to yourself, we've got a really good team on the pitch?
No, the last squad that excited me was the one the Pochettino the last season at Spurs.
And the atmosphere was good then. The atmosphere was good.
We had players, man. We had a very good coach. It's a mixture of everything, though, man. So you can't. The fault is not solely on the manager. It's a load of things. This all goes back to what we were speaking about before, like the new guys that have come in, like in the board. what are they going to bring to the club? What kind of recruitment is going to be happening? What kind of players are we going to start recruiting? Are we going to identify the issues that we have currently in this squad and issue those and sort that out as best as possible in January? To really, we got a lot of for me, we have an incomplete squad. In all
Iggy,
honesty.
I go to the games, right? I go to the games. Sometimes before kickoff, it's a good atmosphere. Sometimes it's meh, right? You never know what you're going to get. You go into the stadium, and normally it's quite loud in the south stand. They're banging the sides of the wall, they're banging the staircase, and they're chanting. And you think, freaking hell, this place is rocking. You go into the terraces. Normally they carry it into the terraces. If in the first 10 minutes we don't play well, or in the first 20 minutes go 1-0 down, all that pre-match hype just goes dead. It goes dead.
It's like a thumbs are down, isn't it?
It goes off a cliff, man. And the only thing that brings it back is if we score a goal or we start playing football, you think, you know what? We got this. If that doesn't happen, forget it. The fans have gone. It's gone. They've lost. It's over. There's no saving it. That's
but do you only feel that happens
every
at Tottenham?
time I go to Spurs.
When you go,
and it wasn't like
when you
under
go
Poch,
to the away
it wasn't like
games,
under Redknapp.
when you
In
go
fact,
to the
Iggy,
away games,
Iggy,
do you
in
feel
fact-
that happens to the home players?
No, away games are completely different. The fans are mental.
Not
They're
from
wicked.
our point of view. I'm talking about how does it happen for them? When you go to the away games, do you see it happening to the home team? The same sort of thing, or are they buzzing straight away from the off?
I would
and
have
it
to
carries
say
on?
no. I would have to say no. I think, like,
That's what I'm trying to get at, man.
in my
It
experience,
depends where you go. When we went to Old Trafford and we went 2-0 up, then when I went to Arsenal and we got the equaliser, when I think it was Ange, we made it 2-2. We killed them. So it depends where you go. Where you go, Newcastle, like guys, we went Newcastle.
it's always buzzing there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but Newcastle, man, doesn't matter how good a shit their team was.
Liverpool, Newcastle, they always get behind
like
their
the
teams
Newcastle,
and stuff.
for example, yeah. Newcastle have
Yeah.
had they've got a good team at the moment. I know they're not always been brilliant, but they've got a good team. They won last season at the cup. But every time you go to Newcastle, even as some of you've had good teams, they've had really bad teams. But the atmosphere, one thing you can definitely say, man, the atmosphere is always rocking.
Mm-hmm. See, even Liverpool, like Liverpool's like that. But Iggy, what I wanted to ask you was, you were saying Man United, when we made the subs, they turned the game a little bit. They came out and like they played quite well, and the subs were a good opportunity, right? Now, before that, we're absolutely dog shit, and the fans were booing. Do you think that impacted Frank making those subs at that time?
I don't know, man. I just think that when it comes at home, I just think at the moment where he hasn't been able to get a level of results or consistently, I think that's adding to the pressure. And listen, man, with all due respect to Brentford, the Spurs are a big club, man. 61,000 full house every week, man. It's like, and if he ain't getting the
higher as well,
the expectations are higher. He's trying to find his feet. He obviously knows every time he plays there, I've got to get a result. He knows that, and away from home, it doesn't seem to carry the same weight, which is why probably we're able to obtain better results. I don't know. It may be the case.
That's the job he signed up for, right?
Yeah, of course, and he will. I do believe he will get there. I do think though he needs right now. I think he needs a bit of help in terms of the quality of the players.
You know what it will come down to?
We always cuss our forwards. Yeah. We do it all the time.
You know what I think it will come down to, Iggy, right? I think it will come down to. I agree with you. I think tactically, I think he will get it right, but I don't think he'll get it right unless he is really strong with the board and demanding what he wants. He needs to. This is why I think managers like Jose and Conte, as an example, in their prime, win things because they and Klopp and Ferguson they're going to the board. Yeah, they're focused. If you don't get me what I fucking want, why am I here?
But they were able to put that stamp though once they started to succeed, because at the beginning I'm sure they couldn't have come out and say things like that. Once they got results and then they were able to.
But Frank has to prove it, right? He has to deliver. So for him to and this is where he's got an opportunity now to do that. So he has to show progression. You know, Stell was going on at the start of the season, right? Oh, you know, you lot are putting a lot, not us lot, to other panels that he's done. You know, you're telling me he's a coach. You're telling me he's a coach. He's going to come in. All we need is a good coach. Well, fucking start coaching then. Because at the moment, I'm not really, apart from maybe the team looking like they know what they're doing in terms of positional sense, where they're defending and stuff like that, albeit that they still make mistakes. I'm not seeing individuals improving. Now, I know it's early days. He said only 11 games, so it's probably a bit harsh to say that. But I remember when Poch in his first season, after that 6-month mark, we noticed a massive difference in the team. So, and it sort of happened a little bit with Redknapp as well. If that doesn't happen with Frank, with the quality players that we've got, I'm going to be like, that's a bit disappointing.
I honestly don't
sorry.
see him as. I don't see him as that person who's going to be
someone else just
rude
said
to the
the same thing in
board.
the chat.
You know, to be that.
Who knows what they're like behind?
Do you
closed
remember
doors?
how many times we asked, "Oh, what manager would you like to come in?" And everyone will say the manager. Then I'll say some random big name that's got balls, and everyone will be like, "We're not getting him. We don't need that type of manager." Now everyone's saying we need a manager with balls. What I've been saying all along.
I do think that I would like to see Frank though get one or two of his men that were really, really important for the way he played. I would love to have seen someone like Romero come to our team, or Wissa, or now we're talking about Ivan Toney's getting.
But then they found them from nowhere, right, Iggy?
You know,
this is Brentford.
but I'm saying,
do you know what, Iggy?
I think we need something like that, because every manager needs to have. You know, every manager when they move clubs, they always take, whether it's someone in the backroom staff, whether it's someone.
No manager at Spurs has ever done that. It's never happened.
I do think they need to have one or two of their people as well, man, that knows the system well. I do think if we got someone like an Ivan Toney in this team right now, if that's possible, I don't know. But I think if we could get him,
you would change
I think that
it
would
up
massively change the
Do
course.
you know what? Do you know what? You see, with
Frank's
Thomas
career,
Frank,
that is.
see, I personally would have liked to have seen Glasner. By the way, Glasner's got a better defensive record than Spurs this season. I would have liked Glasner at Spurs on the basis that his teams have proven to be functional, effective, and they win trophies. And I want that. I would have liked Iriola because his football is probably the best in the league. I don't expect Bournemouth to be up there because it's Bournemouth. They've only got a stadium of 11,500, but they're a team I love to watch.
But he's been given time, Ariola. He's been given time.
He's been given time, but he's nowhere near spent the money the others have. And this summer, just gone, Iriola lost his entire back line. All of them went. So I would have liked that. With Frank, I think what we're going to get with Frank is, once he gets a few more of his players, I think what we're going to see is a very functional, pragmatic team that is strong in play. I don't think we're going to see sexy football. I don't think we're going to see wow, mind-blowing football, because he's never been that coach. He didn't do it at Bromby. That's not how Brentford played. Brentford were just hard to beat and pretty functional going forward. I don't think Frank is an entertainer, and I don't think he'll ever be that. It's not in his DNA. So I don't know if Frank is going to be the guy that makes us top 6, top 4 consistently again, and then someone else takes the reins and says, right, I'll get this over the line and make you a trophy-winning team. Or whether Frank does something he's never done before and win trophies. He's never won trophies. So I don't know what to expect from him. But I do know if he gets better players, we will be that top 6, top 4 side. But I don't know if that's his ceiling, because he's never been here before. We don't know. Maybe there is more to him than that, but he's got to show it, because he's never been in a club that could potentially give him that, right? Although I will say, managers like Lampard and managers like Eddie Howe, they won the championship with small clubs, and Frank didn't do that. But is that a stick to beating with? No, it's not. It's not. So
just a small point still. So obviously,
I don't know what to expect from Frank, because this is unknown territory for him and for us. We don't know.
Obviously, you're saying Glasner and Palace and what's his name, Areola and stuff. Right now, Frank's above both of them, right?
Yeah, but that's Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, though. That's the point. We should be above. Do you get it? What
Yeah,
would
but-
Iriola
yeah, but-
do? What would Iriola
yeah, but
do at
one-
a top 6 club? What would Glasner do at a top 6
On-
club? That's the
on-
question, isn't it?
On one front, so the true answer to that is you don't know because they're not there yet, right? Frank's the person who's taking that jump.
But Glasner's won trophies at smaller clubs, is my point. He's proven it. He's
I
won
know.
Europa Cup with Frankfurt when the Champions League dropped into that competition. He gave Crystal Palace their first ever trophy, ever. When's the last time we won the FA Cup?
But why?
He's done it in his second season at Palace.
So why didn't a bigger club go for him?
JP, great
He did,
question. I don't
and
know.
he refused that.
I don't know.
And I stepped away to go to the restroom. I know you guys were talking about improving players. There is one player.
It takes a bit of time to do that, though, doesn't it? It takes a bit of time.
There is one player I want to see this next 6 or 7 games because they are kind of showing in posts. They're kind of showing some quality, and if Frank is the forward whisperer as they call it, Olderbear has last couple of games show me some things that I'm like, okay, let's see what Frank does with Olderbear. Other than that, that's the only person I think is showing maybe some slight improvement, and I want to see more. I want to see, what more he could get out of Olderbear. Am I wrong here? Or am I?
Mari, right?
Hey, I'm grasping.
Well, we do this is what happens. He does a couple of little moves in the game, and everyone's like, "You see, he's showing us something." It's like the
It was
Tell
a good
goal.
goal by him, though, Maz.
No, the Tell goal was good, but he's still shit.
Olderbear is the best left-sided player we've got at this club.
Yeah,
He's the
I've
best
actually,
left-sided player at this club.
and don't get me wrong, I'm not rating Olderberg. I'm just
The
saying
bar's very low. The bar's very low, but he's the
the bar's
best.
very low. But at least he's moving. And then
But is he though? Because let's take Gareth Bale as an example. When he was at Spurs, every time he was in the team, we were losing, and everyone's like, "Oh, don't put him in the team, we'll lose." Right? Then Bale, you saw Bale. Then he just started improving, like game by game by game.
It was like a racehorse, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could see massive improvement. Olderbear hasn't shown anything like that. All he's shown is in the last game, he showed flashes of something like where he like shimmied past the player or beat one player or had a shot and stuff like that. But I think our standards have got so low for these players now that we see something that they should be doing week in, week out, and we're like, oh my god, he's improving. I don't know.
That's
I don't want to. I don't want to write him off completely. I know I'm really critical of Olderbear and Tels and stuff like that, but Olderbear I don't really want to write off because, as Stel says, out of the crap that we do have, he's one with potential. Because he's got, you can tell he's got good feet, but I don't want to say
he's shown Mari, is he? He hasn't really had a good 3-4 games on the trot to be able to get into a rhythm or something like that, right?
Do you know what I've been saying? I've been saying on the Spurs 5 for weeks, and everyone argues with me. And I've said I want Olderbear to play left wing every single week for the next 8-9 games. I said this 6 weeks ago because this chopping and changing on the left doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. So just pick your worst poison. Tell Richie, Johnson, or Olderbear. Pick your potion, stick with it, and then Frank, coach the player. And
the guys in the chat are nailed it, right? A lot of the guys in the chat. How many players have regressed under Frank?
Well, you can't develop
10 games. You can't.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's stick with Olderbear, and then we'll go on to.
But I see something.
You can't develop a player unless you give them regular game time, because what you do on the training pitch means nothing if you can't then replicate it in a match. You can only replicate it in a match if you play in the match. So if you play Odebert, then drop him. Play him, then drop him. You're not developing the player. It's not a coincidence that Mikey Moore, after having a difficult start at Rangers, they're now singing his name. He's getting goals. He's getting assists. Do you know why? Because they keep playing him. He's getting regular minutes. There's a reason he's improving
but
there.
They've got no one else to play up there, right?
JP, whatever the reason, I don't care. The point is he's getting regular minutes.
Yeah, but we've paid
Odebert
how
won't
much?
improve unless he
100
starts
million.
week in, week out. He won't.
We've already spent over 100 million on that side and had Werner for 2 frigging seasons on that side. So the amount of money we've paid on that side, he's not going to get a chance at Tottenham just yet.
We started fucking Pigeonhead on the left against Man United.
66 million.
That was terrible.
And then we wonder why the first half is shit, because you dropped Odebert, man.
I think with the changes, still, what I would say is that
I can't watch Richie play football.
Frank's almost trying to appease all of those players, isn't he? He's got Tell, he's got Richarlison, he's got Odebert, and all he's trying to do is give them. It's almost like he's giving them all game time. It looks like that to me.
Yeah, but you develop nothing that way. The only way you develop players is minutes. The only reason Gareth Bale came good is because we started him every week. Why just keep playing him? Because the thing is, when you're developing, you're going to have bad games. You're going to have weeks where you're just shit. Do you know what, though? That's the storm you have to go through to see if you can sail into the sunset. You might end up drowning, and you're not good enough. We gave you a proper chance. Get out.
You find out.
But how are we going to find out with Odebert if it's stop, start? You can't coach them.
But this is where criticising Frank is legitimate. Because I agree with you still. He's been chopping and changing that front line rather than saying, right, Odebert, we ain't got anyone on the left, but you're my guy. Do something. I'm going to keep playing you, improve. But he hasn't. You know, and what I get really frustrated about is how we've signed 4 players, 2 of which are really good, and the other 2, one's injured out of the box, and the other one's unfit and become injured out of the box. I mean, it's like,
but that's not Frank's fault.
No, that's not Frank's fault. It's not Frank's fault. But the management team changed, right? The coaches came in, the management team changed. Didn't all of the medical staff get sacked or something, or got refreshed?
Do you know?
So why are we still making the same goddamn mistakes?
We've even got that centre back that we got from Japan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Can I tell you, we pay this company called, I think it's called Sports Science or Sports Performance Science, SPS, something like that. We pay a third-party company since last summer. We still pay them now. A third-party company to improve the performance and output of players. And
so they sign injured players, they get them fit, and they're like, you see the improvement.
Check this out. Since we brought on board this third party performance company, our injury record since they've come has been horrendous. Under Ange and now under Frank. Since we got this we got rid of the medical team, we got this third party company. We've got worse with injuries. I don't understand.
Is this another Levy special just before he went?
It was under Levy, yeah. It was sports. Yeah. I'm going to find the name. Sports Performance. I'll get you the name. I remember reading it earlier. Anyway, look, guys. This all said, we're going to discuss every week. There's one more thing I want to talk about before we wrap it up, because I know Mari got emotional about this one. So, Romero. Now, he had an absolute stinker against Man United. The less we say about that game, the better. But that bad performance, does it justify the criticism he got, especially from Stuart Pearce, ex-professional football player turned pundit, who absolutely gunned him on live TV? Is it fair when this season our defence and the stats and the data backs it up, has been better with Kuti than without him? And how many bad games has he had all season? Did he do you think Romero deserved the criticism that he got against Man United? Because I personally, I thought it was bang out of order. But where are you at with it? Because listen, a lot of YouTubers gunned him as well. A lot of YouTubers gunned him.
So, in our group chat, I posted, the actual data from the Premier League that SofaScore scores does in regards to Romero because of the criticism. And mind you, him not tracking back against United on that play that Pierce, I totally understand. I get it. And we should criticize him for it. But man, sometimes our fan base goes so 0 to 100 on some issues. In that sense of, and I'm talking about this season, right? In regards to Romero. Romero this season, last season, Kazakami football affected us in injuries and performances and the mistakes that happened with Ange Ball. But Frank has come in, and Frank has built a solid defense. Now, the thing I put in the group chat was that defensively, and I can show you the stats, our best defender this year has been Romero. He just average, like the performances, has been Romero. Right behind him is VDV and Danzo. Danzo has had the most clearances. Romero, the most tackles and interceptions, right? Offensively, VDV has scored the goals, which a lot of people will say, okay, VDV has been our best defender because he's scoring the goals, which
he's our top scorer.
And striker.
And he's our top scorer. But when we talk about defensively, because people want to talk about defensively, Romero is having a solid season. VDV is having a solid season. Danzo is having a solid season. So our defense have been the strongest part of our team, and they're having a good season. Yes, criticize Romero for Saturday, but don't get it twisted. He's having a good season, and he's been consistent this season.
For me, Mo,
people are saying that he's not consistent. No, that's a lie. He's been consistent this year. He's been our best defender.
Listen, I think with Romero, the whole thing changed for me. I think the biggest turning point was when he was made captain. I think there was a massive shift once he was made captain of our club. Prior to that, he was, you always knew he had a reckless moment in him. He would get sent off or get stupid yellow card. Often would make really drastic decisions. And I personally almost started to question his commitment to the club, especially when it came near to the international duties. But I think ever since he's been made captain of the club, I think he's been brilliant. I think he's definitely been more level. I think of course, the characteristic of the player is what it is. I know he has that moment in him. He can get himself a really good yellow card, but I don't think he's been as erratic as he was before. And I think he's been really a good performance. Okay, look, he's had injuries here and there, but when he's been at it, I think he's been really good. And partnered with Van der Ven, I think they've been brilliant. When they had to play together, we know we have a much better success.
Well,
massively. And I think we have a much better success rate in overall result when they're both in the team. Now, in my opinion, and I've said this many a times, I think Danzo's been just as good. I think them defenders not playing so high up.
I don't rate
Danzo.
I don't rate him.
I think in the context,
he's done all right though. Still,
I think in the context he's done well. And I think with the other two, I think if you play together with the other two, I think would be really good. And I think Dragusin coming back is also just as important. And I think where they're not playing so high up, I think it would favour them. I think it will make. I think Danzo's really good in the context. I think in this team right now,
he's good in the air, but I think he's an average football player personally. He's good in the air, but.
He's not a ball playing centre back, is he?
I think he's been one of our better players
Yeah, I
even in
agree
this
with
team
you.
right now.
Yeah, but the bar is so low, Iggy. I mean,
Yeah, but he's a
Okay,
defender.
but
Well,
you've got
it's
to go
not
with what
low,
you've got now. If
really,
that's the
because we
bar,
only
then it's up to
conceded
you
10 goals.
you got to raise the bar, as in recruit better players, and then you can start raising the bar, and then start marginalising the players that are not to the level. But until then, you have to go
Iggy,
with
can
what
I
you've
ask you
got.
about another player, by the way, because it's you. Against, I think it was Monaco away, and there was another game, Chelsea. We could have easily lost 5-6-0 both those games, but Vicario was the man of the match. Now, he's come under a
How?
lot of pelters. As soon as Man United equalised, everyone was gunning for Vicario. Do you think that's unfair as well? Very quickly, everyone
No,
forgets.
I think everyone's to blame.
And was Vicario to blame for that goal as well? What? Because I know you've always defended Vicario.
Listen,
Always. What's your take on Vicario?
we let everyone wanted. There was a point in the season where everyone wanted Vicario out of the team. He was making mistakes, and I agree, he made some really unusual mistakes. Everyone wanted Kinski in. Kinski came in, and we saw what happened there. So all of a sudden, but Kinski came in at a time where Vicario had two brilliant games for us. So it was probably the wrong moment. There was other
That
moments
level,
he could have
yeah.
come in, but he didn't. But then we stuck with Vicario, and then we started playing well. Then we put Kinski in. Right now, I think Vicario is the better of the two goalkeepers for me in this precise moment. Then at the end of the season, we can decide if we're going to stick with him or we're going to play Kinski and so forth. I don't know, but Vicario on that goal against Man United played his part. I don't think he's solely to blame. I think the mistake that he made was diving inwards. Like any goalkeeper that dives backwards, you're in trouble, man. If you dive backwards, you're finished. I think if you're just taking a step forward and just block that, the ball would
That's a good point. To be fair, that's a very good point.
The ball would have hit him.
Yeah.
Let's stay. It's a position I know well, man. And
your son's a goalie. He goes goalie.
It's like if you're just taking a step forward, and the ball probably would have just hit him, as long as it doesn't go in the goal. But I think him diving backwards killed him in that moment. But the whole setup. First of all, we gave away possession stupidly. Our game management, and after we took the lead, was just stupid. We gave away a cheap corner. Corners then taken. It's a last chance they have. We just need to make sure that everyone to a man picks up the players that are most likely to cause you a problem. Now, if you have players like Maguire, De Ligt, big boys, man, are coming up to attack your goal, you make sure you match them. How do we match them by having Johnson on De Ligt? And on top of that, it's not just the fact that we matched him. He lost his man because De Ligt takes a step forwards. The goalkeeper blocks Johnson. De Ligt then goes round the back and he's got a free header. How do we have one of the most important headers in the Man United's team, along with Maguire, alone on a free header in the last action of the game? How is that possible? So collectively, whilst I include Vicario added to that. I don't think he was solely to blame for that. I think he added to that. And so I'm thinking it was just terrible defending in the most important moment of the game. You've just taken the lead. You've just turned the game around in a space of 5 minutes. You just got to hold on. And this is where sometimes a little cuteness, you know what I mean? A player
going down,
going down
in
as the corner, delayed the kick.
Yeah, the free kick,
Perhaps the manager could have contributed by putting
someone
just or just by a player going down, or maybe even the goalkeeper just going down 5 minutes saying he's got something. It just allows us to regroup a little bit. Say, look, man, let's just see this out, this corner out. Sometimes, you know what I feel like our team lacks? It's just a little bit of cute. A little bit of craftiness. Just slow it down. Like
dark arts.
Yeah, mark up. Make sure. Hang on a minute. Why is Johnson on De Ligt? You know, is that how it's supposed to be? Was that pre-planned, or is it just so happened to be a circumstance of the situation? Just see it out, man, and then it's done.
That is lack of leadership from
man.
Our defense,
I think
time.
as well. I think as well as a
Romero
manager,
was off then, though.
Yeah,
Romero,
but Van
we
de
lost
Ven should be
Romero.
commanding
Dancer
them
was on.
as
He's
well.
just as good. He's good. He's good in here as well. So I just felt that I don't know. You know what? I always find not just with Tottenham, right, but just in a lot of football at every single level that I watch, even Sunday League and even non-league and even you know and so forth. I just don't see this dying to like just defend this like for your lives. You're literally moments
Not
away
like
with
a
3
John
points.
Terry or something.
Just see the game out, and I just
Don't
don't see
score.
everybody taking pride in defending to say, do you know what? You're my man right here. I'm gonna mark you. Whatever happens, anyone else around me can go on to score, but you are not going to be the man to score in this moment against me. You will not beat me in the air and I'm going to see this game out, and my team's going to come away with 3 points. I don't see that level of dying to defend for your points, and I just think there's moments in the game where you got to do that. And at any level of football, I don't see some. There's almost as if people are trying to shirk, you know, the responsibility of marking. It's like, you almost see sometimes in the players. Like,
You get him.
look
You
around,
get him.
you can see the goal, and everyone just starts. You know what I've seen? Everyone sees that happening. Everyone just starts walking to the halfway line. No one's
Yeah.
saying, "Fuck." It's like, do you know what I mean? Like losing their minds. And I would like to see that because it's such an important. You have to grind out. And you know what the other thing that I've noticed as well before, when we used to have 2 or 3 substitutions. You'd make the subs, and then in the second half, you'll see a team dipping and the other team elevate, and that will make the difference. But with the 5 substitutions now, both teams, you can have a total of 10 subs. The game's always in a balance. There's no more games. Very rare that games are, are over with after 55 minutes, like 4-1 up, you're done, finished. Very rare. So a lot of the games, especially in Tottenham's case, it will always be in a balance right until the end. So you've got to fight tooth and nail right until the end to get those points. And that slip up there cost us 2 points in my mind. I say it again. I thought that in the context of the Man United Spurs game, I thought the draw was right. But in the manner that it happened, really irritated me because I think, you know what, that's another 2 points to drop there. We should have had that game. At Chelsea, we deserve to lose. But there are other games where you're thinking, 2 points here, you might lose, but you've made up for those points here. And these, I think, they're going to be little points that we're going to find at the end of the season where we should have won there. We should have got a point there. You can't do that. And I think, okay, it's still early in the season. There's so much football to be played. I just hope that we don't make that same mistake again. See the game out. Game management, I think, was awful after we took the lead. If you go back and watch that last 10 minutes after we scored the second goal,
Awful.
we didn't manage the ball well enough. We kept giving it away to them, and that's how they ended up getting that corner. Go and watch the goal that led to the corner. Go and watch the minute just before that. I think it was Sarr that gave the ball away.
Our possession in that game, our ball, and Man United, both teams' ball possession was horrific.
Was terrible,
Some of the
and I just
passing
think,
was just,
and I don't know
teams,
what it
both
is because I just think you're taking the 2 lead. Just play the ball, let them chase for the ball. How you go and give the ball away in our own half, and they end up in the corner with a minute to go, mate? And then on top of that, you see that happening. Just slow it down a little bit. Go on the floor. Say you got cramps.
Mourinho said it. Intelligent.
Yeah, man. You need to, and this is the point. You need to always be switched on. And when you're playing football, you need to always be switched on. What's going on around you? Thinking, bloody hell, we look a little bit unorganized here. Let me go back. Let me go on the floor, delay the game a little bit, and everyone knows what I'm doing here. And then it gives the manager a chance to communicate with the players and try and get us a little bit organized in danger. It said no one's ever like switched on in that way. And I hate.
Well, that's where the coaching comes in, though. You need to coach that into them. Can I just say on the Stuart Pearce thing, the same guy who was like saying, "Oh yeah, let's give Ange more time." That guy.
Listen, I don't know what Stuart Pearce was on about. I've heard his words, what he's had to say on Romero, and what can I say, man?
It's ridiculous. It's like he's criticising a World Cup winner when he's done nothing himself.
I don't know. I think I don't know what.
And Copa America winner and Europa.
This is the same guy. This is Stuart Pearce is the same guy that was manager of Man City and needed a goal and brought David James on as a striker.
Well, there you go.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
David
don't ever
James
forget
on
that.
and put him up front.
Don't ever forget that, mate.
I remember
I
that.
don't forget. I keep saying it to you guys. I don't forget shit. I remember what he did, and he put David James on up front to go and get him a goal when he had a striker on the bench. So he's overlooked his own striker on the bench to go and put a goalkeeper on up front.
Iggy, question.
Finished.
Prime David James up front or Richarlison?
Hotel.
David James. David James.
There we go.
I don't know, man. You know what? Richarlison killed me. Now that beautiful cross that was it Johnson put on his Johnson put a beautiful on his left foot. I couldn't believe it. He's put a better cross on his left foot than he has with his right, and he's put it on the money. And he's just got.
We did the exact same thing against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. In the dying seconds of the first half, Richarlison did the same thing. A beautiful cross on his forehead. No one's marking him, and he gently caresses it into the goalkeeper's hands.
The one attribute that everyone says he's good at.
Exactly, man. It's one of the attributes. You know what? If you wanted to land someone, it's in his head.
That's his strength.
That's his strength, and that killed me when he missed it.
Johnson whips it in. Beautiful.
You know what?
Listen, that was a great ball, man.
Yeah. That's his strength, and then taking his top off.
Do you know what the funny thing is?
The one thing he can do good is to fly, and he can't even.
Do you know
fly
what the
properly.
thing is, Maz? That ball that's gone in, he's only got to skim it. He's literally got to let it brush the top of his head and just guide in the back of the net. In the same way he did for his actual goal. That shot that came in, he's just literally
Do you
guiding
know what,
it.
Iggy? Do you know what cracks me up? We're going to wrap up in a minute, by the way. When we signed Richarlison on this channel, we said, what the fuck are we doing spending 60 million on this bang average football player? The pelters we got. Just back your club. Oh, you just hate Tottenham. Oh, now there isn't a YouTuber or a Spurs fan that isn't calling out Richarlison. Now
We've been right on all of them, Stel. We've been right on all of them.
You know what the funny thing is? There's a little rumour.
What are we doing?
There's a little rumour that Everton... There's a little rumour that Everton are willing to pay 40 million to bring him back to Goodison Park or where is their place.
Imagine
I want my 66 million back. They robbed us. I want my 66 million back.
It's not Goodison Park. What's Everton's new ground called again?
Oh, God knows. The
Hill Dickinson or something, isn't it?
That one.
Check and trade, Auto Trader Stadium.
What's happening with our naming rights? That's another conversation.
You might get another 500, but that's for next show. That's next show.
So, yeah. Let's have next show. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up there.
The Levy, Daniel Levy Stadium.
The Levy Legacy Arena.
I imagine that's his parting gift.
And imagine
he said, I'll give up my shares.
On every home kit, the sponsor. Levy.
I think
I'll give up all my shares if I can have the naming rights for the stadium.
I think for this season alone, given that he's the one that brought us the trophy to the Tottenham, we should call it the Ange Ball Stadium.
No.
I'm all for that, man.
You are. Yeah, of course you would.
I was waiting to see you. Yeah, let's do it.
It should be Posta Bernabeu. Posta Bernabeu.
This was last year.
Oh,
we did get banged every. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Thank you to everyone.
I hope we gave you a good first show. There will be plenty more to come every Wednesday. Some of you have been asking about Iggy's morning shows and Mari doing North London is ours. We've only just started, so let us get up and running again. Super chats, memberships, we'll have that all up and running sooner or later.
I might have to change those morning shows to the evening shows, man. But we'll sort something out. Don't worry.
Iggy's late night show, who knows? But listen, big up to all of you. Thanks for being here. We will be back next week, and we will be talking the pre-match to the North London derby, because that will be the next game.
Lastly, I will say this: we do have Arsenal guests lined up, so they will come in. It'll just be a different name for copyright reasons, of course. But we will have some banter next week.
There you go.
And lastly, I want to say this to Mr. Dago. I know he's watching right now. I heard you earlier on with Rafael rumors. Less of that, Rafael.
Hey, AC Milan fan in the house.
It ain't happening, mate. Trust me. I wish you'd asked me. I would have told you straight away. Ruled it out. It ain't happening. Not in January. No chance. No chance Allegri's going to let him go this season. Maybe some up, but not happening in
There
January.
you go. Insider breaking news. Guys, listen, respect. Thank you as always. We're
Much
back.
love.
You're back. We're back. And we'll be back next Wednesday. Take care. Come on, you Spurs. All that good stuff. Peace.
Spurs Corner, we're back.